Good morning, everybody, and welcome back to the channel. So we got us a little bit of a project here. We started cutting beans yesterday, got 78 acres cut, and we got rained out. So we've got the combines all back home. I got to finish up some things on the L2, and then it's ready to go. But what we're going to start on today is this beautiful 1020 Case IH head. This thing is one of the last years that 1020s were made. It's a very nice head. It's got very low acres on it, and we bought it for a very good price, and we're going to run it on the 2388. There's only one problem with it, and I'll show you what the problem is. This head was set down on a rock, and you may have seen this head before on the channel in the not the YouTube shorts, but the stories of us getting it. But as you can see, it suffered from some rock damage right here, and this head was actually an insurance deal. The guy that owned it needed a head right away, called his insurance company. They said go find another head, and he ended up buying this one back from his insurance company, and then we bought it from him. So you can see it is a full-fingered 1020, meaning it's got fingers all throughout the auger, which we've never had one of these, so that'd be kind of cool to play with. See the difference between a full-finger auger and a just center finger auger. So that's what I'm trying to say, like our other 1020 30-footer. So this head's got a lot of potential. So we're going to get it off the cart, and we're going to see if we can get it fixed. And then when we get to go back to cutting beans, we're going to be using this head. So let's get started on it. Plus, what I'm going to do is the mechanical wobble on the 20-foot head is in not the best of shape right now, and it needs bearings. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually take the gearbox wobble from the other 30-foot head, which I think will mount just the same. Everything will be the same. I'm going to take that gearbox wobble and I'm going to put that on the 20-footer and replace the mechanical wobble with a gearbox wobble. So that'd be pretty cool. It'd be a nice upgrade for that 20-foot head. All right, let's get started and see what we can get done with this today. Well, now that we got it hanging on the combine, we can get a better look at what's going on here. As you can see, we got this hump in this floor right here, and the auger's actually hitting it. So that was caused by this big dent right here, and we're thinking that when this got hit right here, it kind of twisted this and this arm in a little bit. And that's what's kind of causing this hump in the cutter bar. So we're going to take this whole top sheet out and get in there and see what we got. And I'm thinking maybe we can weld some chain on here and pull this back down. Maybe you have to heat it in a couple spots. Pull it back down with something and see if that'll all flatten back out. So let's see what we can do with it. Well, George has got the clips off the floor, which pretty simple. You just take that nut off, spin it out of the way. Should be able to pop this floor up, I believe, just like so. Yep, there it goes. Oh, that spring was on the wrong side of it. Get it out from underneath that. There it is. put some light on the subject. Now we can see down in there. There's part of our problem. Now we can see it. So now we can get that straightened out. We gotta figure out what's going on with this cutter bar here. That might be just as simple as straightening this backbone right here. Might not be as bad as we think. We're also gonna pop this section of floor out because right here we've got some issues. So we want to straighten all that out and fix all that. This head did come out of rock country where they have a lot of rocks. So it's not surprising that it has this rock damage that it has. I mean, we have some rocks, but not like the area that this head came out of. These heads are held together with them darn slot-headed pin head bolts, and a lot of times you can't get them off, so you just take a grinder and grind them off. Punch and drive them out now. I'll get one out of the truck over here. Alright, bolts are out. That one's, I guess there's not a bolt in that one. Well, now we can pop that section of floor out. There we go. Now we can see some more stuff. Take some of these guards and skid plates off. Get them out of the way. And all this is what? About a 2-inch wide, 3/8 inch thick strap. That's all that is. So now we're going to try to either push it down or we're going to pull it down some way. And that should straighten that out. We just got to figure out how we're going to do it. So we're just going to try to bend this down. Oh, I don't know. Maybe. Did it go any? Went a little bit. It's kind of spongy. You pull on, George, see if you can bend it.
I think we need to move the jack stands out.
Or they'll move themselves. It's getting better. We're going to move our jack stands apart a little bit. It's actually bending easier than we thought. It's no wonder it bent in the first place. There you go, George.
Hi, George.
I could have found you a little straighter axles you used to begin with. I think that's the one that came out of the soil finisher. Out of the disc. Well, all this stuff's made to flex, so that's why it's not very heavy built. right there yet. A lot better than it was though. Now that floor might be causing a little bit of an issue, I don't know. I'll get that straightened out next. Dad, put your foot on that and hold that. There you go. Maybe come this way a little bit. There we go.
Pull your stand up.
Alright, we're going to keep playing with it a little bit.
Oh, I didn't know I was on a candid camera.
Well, you're on camera now.
I'm on camera.
Yeah, you weren't on camera before.
I am now.
You are now. So now we figured out that this is actually bent up, and that's keeping this cutter bar from coming all the way down. So if we can get this floor back down where it belongs, that'll finish leveling out the cutter bar. So we just got to figure out how we're going to do that. I kind of want to just weld some chain to it and try to maybe lift the head up with the combine with something anchoring it. Just gently pick it up and see if it'll pull it down. I don't know yet. We'll see what we can do with it. Well, what we decided to do is, since this floor is doubled right here, we're going to go ahead and we're going to cut this whole piece out that's under here. I'm going to take the torch and cut the welds off. They're in sections. They go from here to here, and it's goes about that far back, so about 6 inches is doubled up. So we'll cut that out, we'll get that out, we'll straighten that out on the welding table, and then we'll straighten our floor out, and then we'll put it all back together and weld it all back together, and it'll be nice and straight when we're done, hopefully. Well, there's the floor section I got cut out. Well, the bottom of the floor section. So Dad's going to take that in and see if we can work on straightening it. As you can see, the floor is still intact. Didn't burn through it anywhere. That's a good thing. I was worried about that. It's kind of tough cutting under there with the torch. Trying to cut inside of here and get the welds out without burning through things that shouldn't be burned through, but I got it. So now we can try to just straighten this one part of the floor. Okay, so now we're going to get this pulled back down here. We've got these big chain hooks that allow us to pull farther in. What we're going to do is we are going to take little Richard, our little EX60 excavator, and we're going to chain to his bucket, and we're going to rear his bucket down, put some weight down on the bucket, and then we're going to use the combine, the feeder house, to actually lift up the head and hopefully in turn pull this down the amount that we need to go down, which is not going to take a whole lot. So hopefully this will work. I think it will. I don't see why it won't. So let's see what happens. That's probably good. Well, we need to bend this cutter bar a little more. We're going to use a little Richard here. It needs to go way past and then come back. So that's it. That's it?
Yep.
Straight, but do we need to go past?
Oh, it's way past.
It's way past? Okay, Dad's looking it through the end. Go ahead and lift up, see what we got, George. Did it stay, Dad?
I've got about half of it out.
Half of it? Go a little
Let's
more.
do it again.
Maybe come out just a little bit, George. Stick out. There you go, now down.
Down.
There you go.
Down.
Down.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
Let it sit there for a second. A little more.
Nope.
Good.
Yep.
Lift her back up, see what we got.
Just won't stay.
This won't stay. Alright.
A lot closer than it was, but
Should we go some more? What are we out?
maybe do it and smack the sledge.
Yeah. Project head. Right there, George. Take her down. Right
Whoa.
there. Good. We get a sledgehammer feet on that stuff. Okay, so Dad took this in on the welding table, got it straightened out really good, turned out real nice. So now we're going to bring it back up to the shop now that we're done using little Richard to straighten things out. We had to straighten these ends out also because these were bent up on this one and this one. And we got the floor back down where it needs to be. So now I can go ahead and put this back in, weld that back up, and we can actually put the floor back in and put this spring back in. These springs are what actually makes the cutter bar float through the field. So they're all throughout the head, and you adjust them from the back. So, all right, I'm gonna bring this back up to the shop where I can reach it with the welder and get this put back in. Well, we started putting some stuff back together and we got to here and put the guards back on and realized we still had a slight hump. So we went ahead and we heated this and we twisted this back this way. I think we got it now. It's probably not going to be perfect, but it'll be probably to the point where it's not going to affect anything. Might just have a little bit of a distortion right there, but I think it'll be perfectly fine. We're going to put it back together and see if it'll run. Well, it's not completely perfect, but we're going to see if it'll run. Should run. Got the floor all fixed back in there. Got the floor all fixed here in the center. Reshaped it all. Looks real nice. So let's see if the sickle's going to run. Now I just have the drive shaft on that runs the sickle and nothing else. Try it. Oh yeah. Sounds good. going to see if the whole head runs. We know there are some broken fingers in the auger, so you'll probably hear them flopping around. Oh, it all works. Next thing is making header control work. We have to change potentiometers, so we'll have to go get one. So anyways, I think we're going to end this episode right here. So if you enjoyed this episode, go ahead and give me a like. I'd appreciate it. Thank you for watching. We'll see you all in the next one. Next one, we'll be cutting beans with this.